I've been working on putting together a mini Highbanker, and the one feature that I think is a little bit unique here is how I've used a bucket to be able to put a screen up at the top here. And of course these screens are interchangeable, so you can use a lot of different size screens, and then you can easily move the bucket right here, which is just a regular old plastic bucket that fits snugly in the top of this sluice box. And what I did was I built a little frame that extended the sluice box so that there was a place for the bucket to sit. And then I just cut out a slot at the bottom of the sluice box, or not the bottom of the sluice box, but the bottom of the bucket, so that the water obviously will go into the bucket and then down the sluice box. But we've got the screen arrangement here so that first the material is screened, goes into the bucket, goes down the sluice box, and because it's here in the yard and I'm just testing it out, it's a little bit different than what we'd have in the field. It goes into this bucket first, and then it drains into this other one where I've got a 12-volt sump pump, and the sump pump's over in this bucket right here, so that the gravel and the sand will end up in the first bucket, and just the water will end up over here so that the sump pump doesn't get clogged. But anyhow, the sump pump obviously pumps it up through the pipe, which comes over here, and as you see, goes down through the screen. And the idea is that we'll take this out into the field and be able to set this up with a number of different pipe extensions relatively close to the water source. And the battery for this is in my boat right here. It's just a regular 12-volt battery, and we'll use that to power the sluice box, and we'll only be using this in areas where we can get the boat in nice and close to the area where we want to collect the gravel. That way we can transport all the piping and the sluice box and the buckets and the battery and everything like that in the boat, and then just set everything up next to the bank, drop the sump pump into the river or the lake, and pipe it through the bucket here and down the sluice box. The only requirement is that we have to be able to collect our gravel relatively close to the lake or the river that we're going to be in. But it looks like we've got enough water flow down the sluice box to work pretty good. And the idea of this is you have to match three things to start out with. One, the sluice box has to be the right width to accept the size of the bucket that you want. And so this bucket is a rather standard sized bucket, and it fits pretty well right in the flare area of the sluice box. And what I've done is cut out the bottom of the bucket. So let me change angles and look inside the bucket, and you can see that as material is loaded into the bucket, it's going to flow out through that hole down into the sluice box. And so the bucket obviously acts as a big hopper for your material. And the reason why I like this is that you can do some screening of material prior to putting it in the sluice box if you want to. And then if you have multiple screens, you can use the final screen right up here. Just drop it in the bucket, and then you put your classified material or unclassified, depending on what your preference is, into this classifier or into that screen. The next step is to attach the legs so that the height of the sluice box or the Highbanker is adjustable. Now you can buy some legs, a kit for anywhere from $50 to over $100, or you can make one yourself. Now what I did, just zoom in here, you can see this bracket. These are designed for 2x4s or 2x2s, and they only they're less than $1.50 each, and just bolt them onto the frame. Yeah, you just bolt these little brackets onto your sluice box, and then you can take a 2x4 or a 2x2 in this case. Better to use a 2x2, a little less cumbersome, doesn't weigh so much, and just drive a screw in there. And there you go. And as you want to adjust the height, just move the 2x2 up and down and then drive the screw in. Now I don't plan to pack this in, so I'm either going to be transporting this sluice box combination right here by car or by my boat, and so I don't have to worry about weight, and so I'm just going to have my driver right here along with me with some wood screws. And once I get this to the position I want, I'll just go get the driver, drive in a few screws, and adjust the height appropriately. Just use some soft wood for the 2x2 here, like a redwood or a pine or something like that, so that the screws will go in easily.